Olivia.
And I'm David. It's the Amazing Race premiere!
Oh, yeah.
Finally!
The best of the best.
Yes,
is what I'm calling this season.
I feel like a little out of practice recapping the Amazing Race.
They haven't aired the show in so long that I was like, I forgot how to take notes for this show.
Oh, totally.
I'm like, roadblocks, route info.
Right. And we typically, you guys know that we typically go through the episodes chronologically for the most part, but this is just all over the place, so we're gonna get through this all together.
Yeah, the show's a little different. We have to sort of bounce around, because it bounces around.
Right. But we're starting, like Sarah said, with these like all-star teams from all three of our favorite shows. We did a cast recap video already. Go watch that if you haven't.
Yes.
And we're all starting in Hermosa Beach, and they've got to dig through this octopus sandcastle situation.
This big thing.
And they fly to Tokyo as our first destination.
First clue sends them off to Tokyo. Yay, exciting! Here we are, and we're getting clips and packages.
Yeah, we're learning about the teams.
Ourselves with the team.
Right, which is fun.
And they land in Shibuya.
Yes, this busy intersection.
Look, Tokyo
shopping
is
district.
Perfect for the Amazing Race.
Oh.
Because it's so hectic.
Yeah.
There's no English around.
None, and it's like this crazy like neon lights, Vegas craziness, like lots of people everywhere. It's just like chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we immediately see the racers run. They know what to do.
Yes.
Survivor teams are like,
where
do we build shelter first? What do we do?
I don't see a
They're like reading a
sign.
clue, and it's like, whoa.
Kind of wandering slowly, like, where is the urgency? Okay.
But ironically,
the two Survivor teams.
Two of them,
yes, they find this clue. First, right.
Doesn't mean they get there first.
No, it doesn't. No, because then we see that the first two people to actually, well, we should say, there are two different options of places you can go to get your first clue.
Yes.
And they have a limited number of clues at each of these places. So if you don't show up there in the first 5 teams or whatever it is, you're going to have to turn around and go to the second one, which we do see play out later on.
Yes.
But we see Leo and Jamal, they do a little like fake fighting, you know, they're trying to throw people off, already, you know, deploying that strategy.
They sure did.
And so they're trying to misdirect people, and we see them get to the roadblock first. And the roadblock. They did
it, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. And they get to this roadblock, which is this like Japanese game show chocolate shoe situation, which is very funny.
Yeah, it's a very good challenge, because it's like this wall of shoes that all look the same, and you have to bite
them.
And most of them are going to be wood, and some of them are going to be chocolate.
Right.
So you're like, what? How? What?
Yeah. And so they're all like, well, how do I know which one to pick? They're trying to spot the differences, but we see Leo and Jamal get there first. Colin and Christy get there second, and they're also out first and second, right?
They're pretty quick. I mean, it takes them several tries.
Yeah.
But then Janelle,
out of nowhere.
I'll take that shoe over there.
Yeah.
Chocolate. What?
She apparently has been shoe shopping in Japan before, because she's like, that one is chocolate, give it to me now.
That was amazing luck.
Victor, on the other hand, on the 43rd attempt, finally gets his chocolate shoe.
First off, when I see Victor is doing this challenge, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What in the clue made you think that the physical one of your duo needs to do this?
Exactly.
I don't know if Nicole would have done better, but she needs these challenges, not Victor.
Because we know that it has to be even in terms of who's doing the roadblocks, right? So as soon as there's not one where you have to climb something or lift something or carry something, Nicole should be doing that challenge.
Yes. These are things that non-racers should learn real quick. I wish they would watch the show and learn it beforehand, but hopefully we're learning it now on leg 1.
Right. Now, Janelle and Brittany, as amazing as it is that Janelle has found this shoe and just bites into it and they're on their way, they then get lost on the way to the next clue.
Yeah,
so,
we see them down in like a metro
subway station.
Yeah. Not even close to where they're supposed to be.
No.
Okay, the next part of this is climbing up a mountain. Yeah. It's like a wet.
Yeah, it's slick. They're like
inflated mountain, probably.
Right. Yeah. And they're like in this hero spandex kind of thing and wigs. It's very funny, but it's difficult to climb up.
Yeah, gotta climb up. So Jamal and Leo, they are there first. They struggle a little bit. Yeah. But they're pretty much out of there.
Yeah. Same with Colin and Christy. They're there second and they're out of there second. Yeah. And let's just get it out of the way. Leo and Jamal win this leg of the race, which is this very poetic ending because they were eliminated in Tokyo on their season. Now they've won the leg in Tokyo.
Right. That is nice little redemption for them. And honestly, when they first read that clue, they were like, Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like PTSD immediately.
They're like, okay, I guess we're going to get redemption, but I wish we weren't going to Tokyo.
Right. So they did great, though, in first place on the map.
Yeah.
Now, Corinne and Eliza, we see kind of wandering around. They don't get the clue until 10th place.
Yes.
To go to the chocolate shoes.
Right.
And then Art and JJ get it last.
And
to get to the chocolate shoes.
And right before them, we should point out too that Rachel and Alyssa and Tyler and Corey, they got turned around in that initial clue thing.
They're the two that go to get clues and the guys already run out. So they have to go to the second location.
But they do get it before Corinne and Eliza and
Art and JJ.
Yeah.
Okay, so now back to this mountain.
Yes.
It gives Brett a bit of a problem.
Yes.
He climbs it up and then just is like, what do I do?
And slides back down.
Okay. Again, did you watch the show?
Yes.
Did you study how this race works?
Do you not see the clues sitting up there waiting to be pulled? Like
He didn't. He had to come all the way down.
And Chris is standing there, can't say a word, right?
Next to Janelle, both of them are like,
Yeah, and Chris is like...
Well, luckily he knew the rules.
Yeah, he did. He knows he can't say anything because then there's a penalty.
Yeah.
But he knows that the clue's up there and Brett needs to grab the clue. So then, I don't know what it was, but Brett kind of figured it out.
Yeah, it came down and kind of saw the big picture and was like, oh,
I need that. So he's feeling very tired. He's out of breath, but he's got to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, this thing isn't easy to climb.
Yeah.
And so now he's really struggling to get back up there. But they're kind of middle of the pack, so they're fine, and they eventually get out of there.
Right.
The end of this show, you guys,
is so
the most embarrassing end I remember.
Yes. Granted, it's been a while, right?
It has been a while.
I'm sure we've seen some difficult finishes to episodes, but this was painful to watch.
Okay, so first we see Art and JJ.
They get to the chocolate shoes last, okay?
Yes.
Rupert and Laura are ahead of them. But then Art and JJ get to Mount Fuji first.
Yes.
Art is all suited up in the wig.
The unitard.
And he cannot climb Mount Fuji.
Get up.
Like, thank God he didn't have to climb the real Mount Fuji.
Oh my gosh.
But...
And JJ's like, oh, I should have done this. I was like, wait, if one of you was physical... Which I didn't know, but apparently one of them is more fit.
Yeah.
And you chose to do the chocolate shoe.
Right.
That is a bad game choice.
Art is writhing in pain. They're spraying something on his leg.
Yeah, the medic shows up. Yes. The medic has to take care of his leg and give him water.
Yes.
Well, meanwhile, we see Rupert and Laura just taking a detour through a lovely park.
A nice stroll.
A nice stroll in Tokyo.
A nice evening stroll through the park in Tokyo. No urgency.
Time elapsed 2 hours.
2 hours.
That they're like, where is it?
Where's that clue?
So they had shown us, like, they passed by where they should be. So now they've wandered way far.
Yeah.
Of course, they can't find it.
Right.
But they also just don't seem to have any of that race urgency really the whole episode.
We
you know?
even see Rupert say, like, he's so frustrated that they've spent over 2 hours in this park. And I'm sure he's thinking, like, there's no way we're gonna make it through this leg. So we see him literally say, I've given up. And it's just not a super fun thing to watch.
They have an interesting dynamic. Like, she's very chill. From the get-go, she was just kind of like, should we go here? Over here?
Okay.
And so now they're lost. And like, that really didn't amp up too much. She's like, whatever you think. And he's clearly lost and given up.
God,
so
yes. Well, then back at the mountain, Art and JJ are really having a come to Jesus moment. Is this gonna happen for us? And JJ's saying, Art, we gotta take a penalty. You're not gonna get up that mountain. And Art's like, you're right. Let's take the penalty.
They
a 4-hour penalty.
To take a 4-hour penalty. It apparently was that difficult.
Yeah.
That JJ had no trust that Art was gonna get up there.
No.
So they opted for a 4-hour penalty, and they're sitting there waiting for this other team. They know there's another team out there.
Once they take the penalty, they realize, like, okay, there's at least one other team that hasn't finished. And eventually they see Rupert and Laura, again, casually stroll up to Mount Fuji.
Casually stroll up, they found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just be honest here. We're like, well, Rupert can't get up this thing, right?
If Art can't do it, Rupert definitely cannot do it. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what Art and JJ were thinking. They were like, score. We're golden.
Right.
We're good.
Yes.
Rupert comes out in that unitard and is like, let's do this.
He's a mountain climber.
Just worked his way on up there.
First try.
Not super urgent, but strategically knew where to grab.
Yeah.
Got himself up there. And literally, like Art and JJ's faces.
They're just...
Art's like, what?
Crestfallen.
JJ's like, I can't even. Like, so angry. And Art's like, how?
And there's literally nothing they can do because they just have to sit there for 4 hours and take the penalty.
Now, do you think that they regretted taking that penalty after you see Rupert fly up that thing?
I have to imagine they do because they're racers. Okay?
Yes.
And now they have lost the first leg of the Amazing Race.
If they hadn't taken the penalty yet, and Rupert and Laura showed up, it would light a fire under you.
Sure.
It was do or die.
Right.
And would Art have then been able to just like
find the strength,
mind over matter?
Yeah.
And would he have crushed it and just beat Rupert out of like sheer I have to?
Yeah.
Or at least like maybe it would have been close and then they would have run to the mat and maybe Rupert can't run. I don't know. Like, I feel like had they not taken that penalty, maybe, but you just don't know. And we also don't know the time. By the time Rupert and Laura showed up, how long had it already been? An hour or something?
Rupert and Laura were in the park for 2 hours. Maybe Art was trying to get up Mount Fuji for 2 hours. You know, you don't know what the timing is on these things. Yeah. So we see Rupert and Laura make it to the mat, and they are, of course, the last team to check in safe. So let's go through the order of how people landed there.
So Leo and Jamal, like we said, landed first.
Followed by Colin and Christy.
Colin and Christy, I mean, it's been a while since they raced.
Yeah, but they're still in it.
Second place.
Yes.
Then our good friends, Tyler and Corey. I'm going to call them Ty-Cor maybe. I don't know, I'm playing with that.
And I will... I will say, like, they were kind of in the back of the pack early on in this leg. So for them to come back, I think they were 8th or 9th early on. So for them to come back and get a 3rd place finish, like, that's great. Still got my eye on those guys. They are serious contenders.
Like 3rd place sounds perfect for them. Like they always do well.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like it for most of the episode. I was surprised.
Yep.
I was like, you guys are a little rusty.
Yeah.
But they figured it out.
Yes. Then 4th.
Riley sisters.
Yes. Now, this is... Technically, they're from Big Brother, right? But Rachel has run the race before.
Yes. 5th place was Becca and Floyd.
More racers.
Of course.
And then we finally get our first, like, proper, non-Amazing Race team in Nicole and Victor.
Yes.
6th place.
Nicole comes in 6th place.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes.
Chris and Brett are 7th.
Yes.
Janelle and Brittany, thank goodness, made it in at 8th. And we were worried about them running around lost.
And then Corinne and Eliza are 9th. And they're very relieved. Oh
my gosh. They were, on the mat. It looked a little questionable for them too.
Yeah.
And I love that they were like, oh, whoops, we were talking some dirt.
Yes.
And now we did worse than
Thank you. Because they had some great villain vibes early in the episode where they're like, Nicole and Victor are dumb.
Yeah.
And like Rupert and Laura, they don't stand a chance.
Right.
Really like trying to point out these teams who you can't really stack up to them, but then they're like, ooh, okay, we gotta like get our stuff together because we didn't do so well.
No, they did not. And then Rupert and Laura. And then obviously Art and JJ come in 11th and they are eliminated, which is a hard pill to swallow.
It is.
You guys are racers.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't race that long ago.
Yeah, they were Amazing Race 20.
To some other people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Colin and Christy, Amazing Race 5, they're 2nd place.
Hello, yeah.
So they're gone, but look.
This was your 2nd time.
Yeah.
You came back out.
Yeah.
You know, you can't feel too bad about
And I gotta say, as far as keeping people straight and separate, Art and JJ and Brett and Chris are giving me the same vibes.
They are.
As teams,
Even though they're from 2 different shows, they're the same team.
They're like,
you know what I mean?
both kind of like heavier set guys, like 4 heavier set guys. They're police officers, they're border patrol agents. Right. It's like just the same kind of thing. So I'm not sad to see one of them go first because now it feels like the teams are like pretty distinct across the board.
And honestly, out of those 2, I was rooting for Chris and Brett. Out of those 2, just I enjoyed them on Survivor more than I enjoyed Art and JJ previously. So out of the teams that could have been eliminated this first leg, I'm okay with this elimination.
But I am surprised. Like I really expected a Survivor or a BB team to go first. But
I mean, I thought all the racers were going to be in at least till half the half the pack.
Which is what it's looking like it's going to be, because look at the standings coming out of this first leg. So I guess Art and JJ were the weak link on the race side of this, but the rest of them are looking pretty good for the rest of this show.
Yes.
Of course things can change, but...
We need Janelle and Brittany to step it up. We need Corinne and Eliza to step it up.
Yeah, but I think like for some of these other teams, like the first leg, it makes sense to me that the racers are at the top. I think the other teams will catch on pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
Like the learning curve isn't that...
Right.
It doesn't take that long to kind of figure out what is required of you in the Amazing Race. So I think hopefully these...
Read your clues.
Hello.
Know what you're going into.
Yes.
Then move with purpose.
Yes. Thank you.
And choose who's going to do the challenge
wisely.
Strategically.
Yes. Hello. So hopefully these these BB teams, these Survivor teams are going to learn some important lessons from this first leg, and we'll get some more like intermingling of these shows.
So that our top 5 isn't always that top 5.
Yeah, right.
Mix it up a little.
Yeah.
Yay!
But we're back.
Episode!
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god, it's been so long.
I know.
Amazing Race.
Yeah, but we are back, and I think it'll be a good season. So we've got 10 teams left here.
What did you guys think about this first finish?
Yeah. How do you think this season is going to play out? Let us know, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.